Hey, what's up guys, this is TBone here, and today I wanted to cover the Pantheon fight. This is actually the quarterfinals. Now unfortunately, I didn't actually get to stream it live. I wanted to, but I just missed it. My computer was having issues. And so instead we're going to do a review. We're going to play through the events here, and we're going to take a look at all the fights. So the first match is between Devilstone and Mishelle Blant. And you can take a look here that Devilstone does actually move forward. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at their individual fights. I'll do some commentary as well as, sort of talk about the units that they're using. And so the first fight here, Devilstone is using Soul Mirror with Firebird and also Pit Fiend, Green Dragon, Behemoth, and also we got the Earth Elemental and Giant. And then you can notice that they only use 6 units instead of 8. And Mishelle Blant is using a Bone Dragon, a Black Knight, the Skeleton, and Vampire Lich, as well as White. And and then the hero here is a 3-star Adelaide. So let's take a look and see how this fight went. And so we've got Guildmate versus Guildmate here. And so in the front line, we've got the Earth Elemental, Skeleton, and then the Behemoth on the bottom here. Now we got 2 Chargers going in the middle lane here, along with the Bone Dragon. But you can sort of see here immediately that the Chain Lightning spell from Soul Mirror really just dealt a huge damage to these big units. So you can see that the Behemoth and the first ones to go down are actually the Charger units, and then the Bone Dragon is now down. And so you can just sort of see, like, Devilstone is able to take out, win the first match without losing any units here. So that was a really sort of strong performance from Devilstone there. Now let's take a look at the second battle here. We've got Catherine, right? Catherine with Angel and also with the Swordsman. Now interestingly, the Swordsman is not actually at orange level. With Catherine, this would have been a really good, I think, synergy. And then we've also got more castle units here with the Cavaliers. And then we got the Devil, which is orange +1 right now. And then we got Ogre as well as the Dendroid Guard. Now, Soul Mirror is the second choice by Mishelle Blant. Now, Soul Mirror is a really strong hero, right? And the units here are Dwarf and also Earth Elemental, as well as Psychic Elemental. This is a very elemental-focused team. We also got the Ice Elemental and also the Storm Elemental, followed by the Firebird. Now let's take a look here and see how this match went. And we know that Mishelle Blant won this particular matchup. So we can see here, so we got skeletons, skeletons here, and this is all from the relic here that actually gets you the spawned units here. We can see here, in the back we've got the Devil actually took out the Storm Elementals in the back here, and we've also got this Azure Dragon that continues to come out to provide some support. And so let's see here, this is a much closer engagement. And so we've got the Angel that is able to do some revive, so that is really helpful. But the Cavaliers do go down in the bottom lane here against the Earth Elemental. And then we are also, if you take a look at the health-wise, they're very close, even though Mishelle Blant has lost more units. But the rest of the units are actually low enough in health that it's really close to the wire, right? And now with the Angel going down, there's no chance to revive any more units, and so we can sort of see like where we got. So we got these Earth Elementals that basically break up into smaller units after they're done, but right now they're going up against the Azure Dragon and also the Dendroid Guard. And we've got the Firebird that is got most of its health still up here. And now we've got the Dendroid Guard going down, so it's just down to the Azure Dragon versus the 2 little Earth Elementals and the Firebird. The Firebird actually goes down here, but it is able to revive. And with that, they're able. Mishelle Blant is able to come back with a win to tie it up. Now let's take a look at the third battle here. Now we've got a 4-star Lord Heart with an all undead unit here. We've got Bone Dragon, and we got the Skeleton, Walking Dead, Vampire, White, and of course we have the Black Knight that works best with Lord Heart. And then Mishelle Blant goes with Catherine and using Angel, Monk, and Swordsman, as well as Genie and other castle units. We got the Marksman and also the Cavalier. Now, Charger versus Charger wise, with Lord Heart in play, the thing is, Black Knight is just going to dominate in this situation. And so we've got the top lane with 2 chargers up front, and they're up against the Cavalier, and of course the Cavaliers just immediately go down due to the attack from the Black Knight there that turns into Death Knight. And so you can just see how quickly they're able to take out the teams here. And so Devil's Dome with a convincing 2-1 victory in the quarterfinals. So congratulations to Devil's Dome. Now let's go on and take a look at the second match, and that is Percival versus Tears of Devil. Now we see that Tears of Devil does take the win here, and we can take a look at the replay. So the first team here, first battle, they both go with Soulmere, and actually Tears of Devil has a 4-star Soulmere, which actually has a very important boost here, where Chain Lightning does additional damage now. So that's where the difference is going to be. And in terms of the units here, we do have Vampire and Giant with Angel, and we got the Elemental here, Storm Elemental, Skeleton, and Ice Elemental. So you notice that we actually see quite a bit of the Skeleton defenders being used here. And then here also from Tears of Devil, we got the Bone Dragon, Skeleton, and Devil, Earth Elemental, Vampire, and Behemoth. So let's take a look at the replay here. So this is a Soulmere versus Soulmere, and you can see that the cape here, so they got the cape here that spawns undead units, little skeletons as well. And so let's see, we got the Storm Elementals here, but then the Chain Lightning is really where it will make a big difference. And so you can just see how much damage it's actually dealing, and the Azure Dragon is also here to help out. And so the middle here is really, and the middle here actually got frozen by the Ice Elemental's Ice Wall. So their Ice Wall, it works just like Adelaide, and it's a crowd control type spell. But you can just see here, like, Tears of Devil was able to make a comeback here with that Chain Lightning spell to take out most of the units there. And now it's just Azure Dragon versus Azure Dragon, and at the top we have Vampire versus the little Earth Elemental pieces that have broken up. And it's actually really close here, but what it comes down to is the hero spells. So it comes down to the hero spells with the Thunderbolt that eventually takes out the vampires, and Tears of Devil is actually going to just eke out a win. There is the air wall that actually gives them a more dodge, and so that was an extremely close fight that Tears of Devil managed to eke out. Then battle 2, we got Percival going with Crack Hack, and also Earth Elemental, Black Knight, Monk. Monk only at 2 stars here, though. That's interesting. So let's take a look here and see. We also have the Giant. We also have the Behemoth and Orc, as well as the Marksman. And then Tears of the Devil is going with a 4-star Catherine with mostly castle units here. Again, we've got Swordsman, Marksman, Monk, and we have Cavalier, and also Dendroid Guard and Orc. Now let's take a not Orc, the Ogre. So let's take a look here, and of course, with 6 units here, you really only have a couple of options here. So you have to have your defenders in the front line here, and we've got so the thing is with Crack Hack, this is going to be attack centric, but what's interesting here is Crack Hack boosts actually the melee units. So a lot of the units in the back here aren't actually getting the boost here, but they're supporting a lot, especially with the Monk healing here, and both teams actually have Monk here. So it's the middle engagement that's going to make the biggest difference. And so it comes down to how much DPS is being generated from the back line here. If the middle lane seems to be pretty close, then it's really the DPS that counts here. And Crack Hack is able to use the skill to really help his front line get through, and the back line is supporting with the heal, and also the Marksman is just dealing a ton of damage. And there is also the Black Knight, so keep in mind the Black Knight there really makes a big difference. And so they only lost 1 unit here. Percival comes out with a win in the second round. And now let's take a look at the third round here. We've got Rylan as the hero. And so, of course, with Rylan, you'll want to use a Dendroid Guard that turns into the Guardian of the Forest. Then we have the Genie, White, and also the Firebird, Swordsman, and we have the Psychic Elemental. And now we also go up against Rashka, 4-star Rashka with an all-infernal team with the Fire Lord, Imp, as well as Gog, and the Hellhound, Pit Fiend, and Demon. Now the thing with, the thing with Rashka at 4 stars is that any non-infernal units will take like 50% damage, fire damage. And so this team right here is going to deal a ton of fire damage. And so not only does 4-star Rashka give you additional damage, your opponents take even more damage there. And so you can see just how much damage the Infernal Flame is going to deal. And that actually counteracted the heal from Genie and also from Rylan there. And you can just see, you know, like all of these units in the back, Gawk and Fire Lord, basically burning down the middle here. The Hellhound does go down, but so does the Psychic Elemental. But eventually, though, they start overpowering the middle lane, so you can sort of see now it's again Azure Dragon versus Azure Dragon. But the Pit Fiend is still there and healing the other Infernal units as well. And we've got the Demon with high dodge value. And so as soon as the Genie is actually still alive, one of the Genies is here. But you can just see we have way more middle line here. And so it's going to be extremely difficult for just the Firebird to burn through and a single Azure Dragon. And so it's, at this point, it's just a matter of time before Percival's units do fall. And we do actually lose the front line, and with that we're down with just a Firebird, and that is going to be the end of the match. So Tears of Devil does come away with a win. That first match really was the key here. It was so close, it could have been anybody's game, and it all came down to that very first match. So that's the first two of the matches there. And then we have Dreams versus Oxalis, where Dreams does actually take a 3-0 win. So let's see how this took place. So we got a 4-star Catherine, and we've got actually, it's actually interesting. So we have a blue +1 Ogre, and we got Dendroid Guard, and also a Vampire, Monk, Skeleton, and we have the, and we also have the Wolf Rider. And then on the right side, Oxalis here, we have a 3-star Adelaide with Walking Dead, Vampire, Black Knight, and also Lich and Pegasus, Bone Dragon. Now with the Pegasus, with the Black Knight here, you would think that it actually has an advantage, especially paired up with the Bone Dragon. But unfortunately, setup-wise, it's going up against the Dendroid Guard, which actually will kind of stun and sort of keep in place. So I want to take a look and see how well the engagement up here does, because you would imagine that this is where the DPS would really help and be able to take out some units so that Lich can actually, create additional skeletons to deal some more damage. But you can see they just can't break through the Dendroid Guard until now. And now, but what happens is the Black Knight actually falls as soon as they die, finish off the Dendroid Guard here, and with that the middle line does go down, and with that it's basically down to just the Pegasus, and they weren't able to hold on. And so the only units lost were Dendroid Guard and Ogre, and Dreams does take the first of the 3 battles. Now we have Vidomina and a mostly undead team here from Dreams with the Lich, Bone Dragon, and Walking Dead. And also with Black Knight. Now, Black Knight is still a Necropolis unit, so it does get some additional bonus here. And we got White and Earth Elemental. Then we have a 2-star Luna here with the Dendroid Guard and a Dwarf, Angel, Firebird, and Wood Elf, as well as Skeleton here from Oxalis. Let's take a look at battle number 2. So battle number 2 here, and it looks like there is it was left empty on the top lane, so that it was going to be more focused. The middle lane was really where it was heavy focused, and of course they were able to actually get through the Dwarf and also the Angel right away, so break through immediately, and that actually spells big trouble. If your Angel goes down right away that fast, then your you're going to lose the heal and the revive. And so unfortunately here, Dreams does walk away with another overwhelming win. Now battle number 3 is going to be Solmir with Imp and also Afridi, Storm Elemental Giant, Swordsman, and Firebird. And we have a 4-star Roland, which is going to boost all castle units. So Oxalis does go with the Cavalier and Marksman, Monk, the Pikeman, and also Swordsman, as well as the Griffin. Now, the thing about Roland is that he has the, his ultimate skill gives them all a morale boost, so they can all attack faster. But up against this team here, I guess the question is whether or not there is actually quite enough damage, especially if the marksmen get taken out in the beginning. The challenge here is there's heal from the monk, but the units in here actually, don't deal quite as much damage, so they really need to rely on the Cavalier, which actually does get through. So now let's take a look and see how Dreams was able to come back with the win here. But you can see basically the Chain Lightning, the spells took out the backline there, and so we're left just with really the Cavalier that is that is the hope here. So this actually looks a lot closer than I would have imagined it to be, and we got Firebird up against unfortunately there's 2 units, the Azure Dragon as well as the Firebird, that ended up flanking the Cavalier. So despite their best efforts, they do go down. And so that was a convincing win from Dreams with a 3-0 win. And Hit Machine also walks away with a 3-0 against Johnny Wrasse. So let's take a look here as we wrap up the first quarterfinal match here. And so we've got Vedomina versus Vedomina, so we've got mostly undead unit here with Skeleton, Walking Dead, Black Knight, Lich, and also Behemoth and Bone Dragon. All of these are actually at orange +1, and also 4-star Vedomina. And Johnny Wrasse also has, the Bone Dragon, Black Knight, except instead of a Walking Dead, it's a Dwarf here, and a Skeleton, Vampire, that's the different one, and also Lich. So let's take a look and see how they've fared here. And you can see though there's also a pretty big power difference between the two players in this matchup. 1.6 million versus 1.1. And the bottom lane actually is all about it. There's the Black Knight and Bone Dragon all in the bottom lane, and Johnny Wrasse actually faced Hit Machine here, except unfortunately the Black Knight here was able to prevail from Hit Machine's team and go to the back line, take out the Lich, and that is pretty much going to be it, as we are left with just the Skeletons to deal with the rest of the teams here, which actually all survived. And in the second matchup here, it's going to be another 4-star hero, Solmir versus Crack Hack. And again, mostly we got half of the team that is in orange +1. We got Earth Elemental and Vampire. Iron Golem actually making its debut here in all of the matches so far. And then we have the Cavalier, White, and Storm Elemental. Then we have Johnny Wrasse going second with the Crack Hack, and we got Orc, Goblin also making its first time sort of debut, as well as the Cyclops. Now this is I think these are going to benefit from these, but this is not Stronghold, right? So it doesn't actually benefit, but there are some Stronghold units that do benefit from Crack Hack, and we have Ogre as well as Monk. So in terms of sort of synergy wise, Solmir actually, really synergizes well with Storm Elemental. And so anytime you play Solmir, you want to put Storm Elemental in there if you can, because his static, he basically has the, sort of that skill that also puts him in stasis that makes sure enemies take additional damage here. And let's take a look here. So basically we Hit Machine was able to clear through the top lane immediately and take out the Cyclops in the bottom, and basically the rest of the units here have no chance against the combination of the spells and also from the Azure Dragon and also from the Storm Elemental for a second loss here. So Johnny Wrasse unfortunately faced up against Hit Machine and couldn't win there. Battle number 3, we got a 4-star Catherine, and so you see here we got the Swordsman, and we also have Demon and Ogre, so that's the that's the three front line, and then we have a very healing heavy team with Genie and Monk, and then we have Naga as the damage dealer. Again, Naga for the sort of seen the first time here, which is a little bit of a surprise from my part. And then up against Johnny Raz with the Storm Elemental, Fire Elemental, a Pit Fiend, Ifriti. And then for the two defenders, we have Demon and also Dendroid Guard. So it's going to be interesting with a 2 defenders setup here against a 3 defenders here. So like there's no chargers in this team, so at least that's good. So you don't have to worry about anybody going through the gap here. But let's take a look at the middle engagement here. So the main difference here is we've got 2 healing units here, and we've got Solmir that is basically burning down the backline. So we've already lost, you know, most of the units here. I mean, so it was actually the thunder, right? It was the spell from the Titan of Thunder spell that took out most of the backline here, and then in the middle engagement, it actually looks like Johnny Raz is slightly ahead at this point, but the heal is actually probably what's going to make a big difference here. As you can see, their health is not really going down, and then this is, I believe, where Naga starts cutting down on the Azure Dragon, which is going to be a big hit there. And then at the top here, we got the Fire Elemental that can't really stand up to the attack from Naga. And at this point, this is basically it, as we have just the Demon remaining, and we got Azure Dragon and also the Naga and also, you know, Swordsman all going up against them. And so Hit Machine again in the third battle with a convincing win overall. And here we have your top 4 that's gonna go into the semifinals. That's gonna start the following day. So congratulations to Devil's Stone, Tears of Devil, Dreams, and Hit Machine. Looking forward to a good battle tomorrow. And thanks for watching, guys. This has been a really fun and exciting event so far. I've really enjoyed it. Hope you've also enjoyed the recap here. So take care, and I'll see you next time.